I'm like, Lydia's never going to stress me out.
You know, we're making World War I uniforms, and I was like, I miss that.
Sorry? What are we talking about? What? Yeah, I was like, that's mad.
I didn't understand it.
I was like, Camilla, you're mad. What are you talking about?
we went for a fitting with our costume designer before our...
Oh, yeah.
Gabby was measuring me. And I was
the
like,
costume designer.
The costume designer, sorry. And I was like, what's this for? She was like, these are for the bridesmaids dresses in episode 1. I was like, okay. And then went for a second fitting, you know. I was like, well, what is it again? She's like, you know, we're making World War I uniforms. And I was like, I miss that.
I hadn't had the script, so yeah, I was fitting, and she was like, yeah, you know, for the World War I nurses uniforms. I was like, sorry? What are we talking about? What? But also, we kept getting compliments on how we looked in them, which was unexpected.
I felt stunning that day.
People were like, these really suit you. And I was like, I don't know how to take that or to incorporate it into my life, but thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really tough to see them, because I think they both feel really hurt by one another, but they haven't really had the honest conversation yet, because they're both the better versions of themselves now. And I think Maggie just desperately wants everything to be okay. But Eddie knows that she doesn't really want this relationship. You find out at the end of Ep 1. So it's just like, you know, one of them really wants it, one of them really wants the exact opposite. And you're like, well, that's not going to go well.
Yeah.
Bipolar disorder is incredibly misunderstood. The conversations, like, thankfully, around depression and anxiety have become very open, as they should do. But, you know, people with bipolar disorder are really judged and stigmatized a lot of the time, because people just don't really know what it is, don't know how it manifests. I think everyone can understand depression, but manic episodes are a lot harder for people to understand. And if you've ever known anyone in your life that have gone through them, it can be incredibly scary, really hard to sort of get your head around. And it also, I mean, this season deals with how difficult it is to medicate bipolar disorder, because it's about finding a balance. It's not about, you know, depression, you know, you're taking uppers to sort of deal with that, but this is about, you know, dampening down the depression, but taking, you know, down the mania as well, and finding that. And it's really tricky, and I think you feel for her and really trying to manage it, but it not being easy to do so, you know?
Well, I think it's very important, because what you started with it is, you mentioned that they can be even more painful than romantic relationships and romantic breakups, and I think that's okay to feel and say, and I think it's an unpopular opinion, but it's the truth. They are extremely painful, and you feel hurt and you feel bereft, but you almost feel like you shouldn't be feeling that, because it's just a friendship. But these people really understand you. You feel understood, you feel seen. They often know the real you, the unfiltered version of you. And I think with Maggie and Eddie, I personally watch it and I'm just like, just hug, just speak. And it's so often when you are going through stuff with friends, it's so hard to just communicate, honestly.
God, yeah.
Because of the shared history and the shared past, or the way you used to perform and show up for that friendship. And I think with Maggie and Eddie, there was specific roles that they both filled in each other's lives at certain times, and they're finding it hard to grow together, and they can't just have an honest dialogue of what's changed, what's happened, why am you or I upset. So you just will for them the whole series to talk.
I think there's no one-size-fits-all rule. We talked about this earlier in terms of, like, you know, in their relationship, you're like, God, you just really need to see one another. But I think there's also really no shame in if someone isn't serving you in your life and making your life actively worse. You don't owe anybody. I think loyalty sometimes can stretch too far. If someone is really not a person you need to have in life, you don't need to. But at the same time, that's in extremes of the situation. But then I think in friendships, you have to give each other grace as well. And I think that both of them don't really want to admit to their flaws because it's uncomfortable. And having a friendship that's that close, it is like someone holding up a mirror to you. And we don't always want to look in the mirror and see the ugly bits, you know?
I personally love the hair and makeup looks.
Yeah, Jessie Dial was our hair and makeup designer this season, and she's just incredible. And I'd worked with her previously on Bridgerton, and this was her first design job, and she just knocked it out of the park. She's just phenomenal. Especially, I have to say, Rob Gilbert, who plays Will, his was my favorite. And a lot of it was based on stuff that a lot of us did look like at the time, like awful eyebrows that we did, and he was a real emo back in the days. Just, every time I saw him in the wig, it just killed me.
And when he's like playing with it too.
Oh, he's so shaking there.
Oh, and your side fringe.
Oh yeah,
and
intense
mine
side.
too, yeah.
We all had one at one point.
And we'd have so many transitions in a day.
Yeah.
So it was figuring out, okay, where are we now? Oh, 2009. Okay, this is like a 3-second scene. And then, okay, we're going to 2015, and then we're jumping to present day. So it was rapid. Yeah, I love that episode. It's really cool too.
Yeah. I mean, if I could work with Lydia always, I'd be very happy, because you're just like
I just
a
want
dreamy.
to work with you for
yeah.
life.
Because I feel like you're really work wife. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I feel like we look after one another.
we do.
It's nice, it's sweet, it's supportive.
Yeah.
There's no drama, there's no stress.
Yeah.
When we're around one another, I'm like, Lydia's never going to stress me out. She's never going to stress me out.
I remember when there's days like when Nicola wasn't in, and I was like if I wasn't in a scene without her, and I was just like, I miss her.
Yeah. I think it's to give yourself a bit more grace. I think it's not about throwing out everything that you are in hopes of building from the ground up this perfect version. That's not realistic. And I think at different points we all do that. We're all like, God, I need to go to the gym 20 times a week. I need to only eat vegetables. I need to do this. I need to be meditating. I need to be doing hot yoga from 4 a.m. Like, we don't. I think just giving yourself grace, and also understanding that negative emotions are normal and human, and everyone experiences them, and just trying to be, it sounds really cheesy to say, try and be kinder to yourself, but genuinely, I think that's a very important thing.
Yeah, agreed. It's so hard to practice that. It's so hard.
Oh my God.
Because we all go through it, but it's just, I hope people feel just like really seen.
Yeah.
And opens discussions about like various mental health issues that a person could be going through, and they look very different, whether that's someone who needs support with medication or support through talking therapy, whatever it might be. Everyone's experience is valid.
Yeah.
And you see different versions of through Maggie and Eddie, of grief, of sadness, figuring out where they belong, and it's
everyone's like at the center of their own story,
Yeah.